that I spent my whole time working on that. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today at our second town hall meeting. Well, actually the same town hall meeting as yesterday. The same information that I shared yesterday will be shared today with you. I'm excited to announce what our plans are for Texas HOSA. And I know that you haven't heard from us in a while, and we have been pretty silent. Texas HOSA has been pretty silent. And one of the reasons is that we were trying to formulate a plan. And we also knew that advisors were overwhelmed with virtual learning, face-to-face, taking care of their own families, and if their kids aren't going to school, who's taking care of them? And so we wanted to make sure that it was the right time to share information about what's happening with Texas HOSA in this 2020-2021 school year. So we have a lot of new and exciting things happening and a lot of things that will be different. And this year will not look like last year. But we are hopeful that you will receive this information and that you will get your students engaged into becoming members of HOSA and participating in the competitive events that we have to offer this year. So let's go ahead and get started. New this year is the affiliation site. National HOSA, Big HOSA is who I'm going to refer them to as. Big HOSA has just rolled out a new affiliation site. So if you have affiliated your members already, or if you've logged in, then you've already seen these changes. But I gave a little snapshots of what the new system will look like. And I think it's a lot user-friendly than it ever was before. So one of the new things is that if you know your charter number, the 5-digit number starting with a 6, if you know that number and you affiliated last year, your email address is in the system, you can log in and you can click on forgot password, and email will be sent to you, and you can go ahead and create your own password. You know, usually the passwords that nationals would generate for us were like letters and numbers, and you didn't know if it was lowercase or uppercase. So if you want to make your password Buttercup 263, you can. But keep in mind that I have no access anymore to anybody's passwords. And the reason is because they added in that you could pay your affiliation online. And so they don't want anybody else to have access to your chapter. Kelly, are you on? I don't know who's on.
Yes,
Leslie?
I'm here.
And Leslie's on too. Leslie, my office assistant. Oh, and Anne's there too. And Barbara. Hi, Barbara.
But I feel like it should be changed.
Have to go, okay? Hold on, I have to go. Hold on.
Okay, I don't know who has to go. But can my staff be monitoring the chat so that I can continue? And Kelly, Leslie, be watching that. I don't know if there's any board members on, I haven't seen. But if you have any questions during my presentation, please enter them into the chat, and then somebody from the staff will tell me what the question is so that I can answer it before I move on to the next slide. So as I was saying, Texas HOSA no longer has access to your password, so that you can set your own password, whatever you would like it to be. You just need to make sure that you remember it. But if you forget it and you know your charter number and you know your email is in the system, then definitely you can log in and recreate a new password. So let's take a look. I tried really hard today to work on the graphics so that hopefully you see them a little bit clearer. This is what the affiliation system looks like now. And this is really different from what we used to see. So you know what part of the affiliation you're in. So there is 6 steps in the affiliation: instructions, chapter information, member information, demographics, fees, and obviously your payment. So this is what it will look like when you log in. Okay, let me see, get there. All right, your chapter information, there's 2, go ahead.
We have a request for you to share your screen. I'm not sure if you have it shared. I'm seeing it, but I don't know. Is your screen shared?
Yeah, I'm using Prezi with Zoom, so you should be able to. Dr. Johnson just logged on. Hello, Dr. Johnson.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, I had a meeting that ran over. Thank you for inviting me again, Janet.
Thank you. Okay, so we can see my screen now. Yes, you couldn't before, but now you can. Oh, pin it. Yeah, pin it so that you can see me. So chapter information, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to put in your information. You can add a secondary advisor to your charter information. This just happens to be my charter information. And so you can put in your principal's email, your principal's name, and so on. One thing that was really new this year, you know, you had to type several times, you know, your billing address and your shipping address. So if you have someone specific, to, hang on just a second, that you want to send the billing to, you can add that address in here as well. Like if you have a bookkeeper and your bookkeeper keeps up with what she receives in the mail, then definitely. If Big HOSA or Texas HOSA wants to send you something, make sure that you put in the correct shipping address. And this today, it is being recorded and it will be posted. Member information. If you have students that are returning from last year, they will show you the list of who you had affiliated last year. And you can just go ahead and click them and they will be automatically added to your list. Now, something that National HOSA has just rolled out is in gender, where it says select gender. Obviously, they have the male and the female, but they have added other, in case you have a student that does not identify as female or male. So you can put other there. That was something that a lot of advisors were asking for. One of the good things is that demographics is now after you have entered your members. If you remember from the affiliation in days gone by, demographics was at the beginning, and it was very difficult for advisors to give us demographic information because then they would forget to log back in and do that. But this is very important for you to be able to tell us how many health science education participants, disadvantaged, handicapped, displaced, or non-traditional. And your registrar should be able to help you with those classifications so that you can make sure that you are giving us good demographic information. This information is used for grants. It's used for when we are talking to companies that may be looking to donate money to us, but they want to know what the demographics are in our state. Not only our state, but states across the nation. So make sure that you fill out that. One of the things that I really like that HOSA added this year was, and this checkbox is at the beginning of your affiliation, but they have added the definitions of what type of affiliation. So 100% affiliation is if you have total HOSA members, you registers equals the number of HOE, which we don't even use that term anymore, are in your class. Health education students in your class, you registered or you affiliated 100% of them. You can click that box. If you are a new chapter, then you can, this is the first time you're ever logging into the system, you can click new chapter. If your students also belong to the National Technical Honor Society, you can click that box. If you are part of the NAF Academy of Health Sciences, check that box. Project Lead the Way, Biomedical Sciences, or Project Lead the Way Gateway, you can check that box. Gold chapter is 100% of your seniors from your HOSA chapter have been registered as alumni members. And they're really pushing for you to register your seniors as alumni. What's the question? I'm sorry.
Is there a reward or benefit to 100% affiliation or early affiliation?
I think that there is a certificate at the end, but there is no reward or financial reward for you being that. But it is always prestigious for you to say that you are 100% affiliation.
Janet, there's also a question. They're asking for alumni, your current seniors or the class of 2020?
The class of 2020, your current seniors. You can have them, like let's say next semester in April, May, you can have them register as alumni. National HOSA or Big HOSA is trying to really track those alumni and those seniors. So hopefully you like the new affiliation site. If you're a new chapter, a video is being sent to you so that you can follow the directions and you can see how everything works. But it is a lot user-friendly than it ever was before. So hopefully you like that. All right, let's talk about fees and deadlines. And I know there's a lot of writing on here, but I wasn't quite sure how many post-secondary or middle schools would log on. So I included them as well. So affiliation for secondary members must be completed by November the 15th. Yesterday, there was a lot of confusion about this. So we want the majority of your members by November the 15th. This is a good time for your students to commit. If they want to compete, they can commit to you that they're going to start preparing for their contest in January. So, I mean, you can definitely add other members you forgot. A student paid you money and you forgot to affiliate them. Yes, we want you to affiliate everyone. If you have new students in the spring semester, you can definitely add those students. But how prepared would a student be if they're saying, I want to become a member of HOSA and tomorrow is the registration deadline? So how prepared are they for, preparing for that contest? So just take that into consideration. Your affiliation fees are due 30 days after you have affiliated your members. So please review your invoice for the due date, and affiliation must be received. The fees must be received in order for the students to be eligible to compete. I know that over the summer, we worked really hard on sending out invoices two chapters that had an outstanding balance. But we do know also that a lot of people were not checking their emails. I mean, they were worried about other things besides HOSA affiliation fees, but not to worry. We will definitely send you a notice. So you'll get a notice when you try to log on and affiliate. And if your chapter is blocked, it's probably because you owe some outstanding fees. We want to make sure that you send the affiliation fees to the national, to Big HOSA at the South Lake address. And that address is on your invoice. So this year, because of virtual learning, HOSA will be accepting individual checks from members. Make sure that you educate your members on what information they need to send with their check to make sure that the funds are being credited to the proper chapter. So we had a question yesterday about bounce checks. And I called Nationals today and I said, what's the process for bounce checks? And he says, well, you know, last year and in previous years, we've only had 2 or 3 bounce checks. But they will follow the same process as if they were getting a check from a school district that bounced. Send it back to them. They'll notify them. They'll try to get the funds in a different manner, credit card or for the member to reissue the check. But if ultimately the check or the affiliation fees for that member are never received, then ultimately the advisor is responsible for those affiliation fees. So if it were my chapter and I was in the classroom, I would make sure before I added that student to my affiliation roster, I would make them show me a copy of the check, a copy of the envelope with a stamp on it, that they are going to be sending their affiliation fees in. I mean, there's a lot of other things, and I'm pretty sure that your school district may have a way for you to collect funds, even if you are still virtual. So advisors will have an option now to pay by credit card, or they'll accept a check. If you pay by credit card, a lot more school districts are going to credit cards, or P cards as they call them, but there is a convenience fee. I think it's $2.38 in order for you to pay or be able to pay with a credit card. Okay, somebody was logging in. Now let's just talk about your account statement. And this plus sign right here, this is where you're going to add your member. But I wanted to show you actually this account statement in yellow. So once you affiliate your members, you will be able to generate your account statement instantaneously. But your bookkeeping department may not accept something that says account statement. So what Big HOSA does is every Wednesday they drop a batch, and this is what they call it, a batch. And once that batch has been dropped, then your account statement will change to an invoice so that you can submit that for payment. So this happens every Wednesday. They drop a batch every Wednesday. So be
Janet, there's some questions on chat you might want to address real quick. One is, are we still able to pay the same way that we did last year?
Okay, so I do see, yeah, you can pay by check or credit card, whichever. You have 30 days to pay for your affiliation fees after you affiliate your students. National HOSA, Big HOSA, Texas HOSA, none of the HOSAs will accept POs, Wendy. So we need to make sure that that is a check that they're generating from that PO. Is that it?
Let's see.
Students are not allowed to pay by credit card. They will have to send a check or a money order.
But no POs, correct?
No POs. Are we good on that? Yeah. Okay. Something cool for all of the advisors in Texas is that the board of directors understands that these are hard times. Students don't have funds, families don't have funds. Some of them are, you know, their parents lost their jobs, or even the kids that would work part-time jobs no longer have those jobs. So we want to help these chapters. We want to help these members. And we've had this Inspire Fund for several years now, but we have a lot more funds put into this Inspire Fund that we would be able to pay for membership. If you are financially struggling, you or your students are financially struggling, we will pay 10 members affiliation fees and an advisor. So if we'll do the 10 members, or if you collect affiliation fees and you feel that one student is struggling to send you those or give you those affiliation fees, we'll pay for individual membership as well. The application could be found on texashosa.org, and it is on the slider. Click on that and you'll get the application. Yeah, they're writing a check to the school, and then the school is going to send a big check. Yes, that's a good way to go. Does anybody have questions on Inspire Fund? This is on a first come, first serve basis. And so once the funds run out, then we won't be able to help any more chapters until next year, where we can generate more funds. Now, this is something new this year. The board of directors has voted that we will be using the Big HOSA registration site for affiliation and all the conference registrations as well. So we will no longer be registering or using Register My Chapter site at all. So you will no longer automatically receive an invoice after you have registered for a conference. That was a really big perk that we had with Register My Chapter. And the reason that we moved to Big HOSA's registration site is that they have updated their site. And I think it has a lot of cool things that will make it easier for the advisor. One of them being that you only have to keep up with one username and password, your charter number and your password that you can generate yourself, which would be easier for you to remember. We no longer have to keep up with one username and password for Big HOSA and then another username and password for Texas HOSA registration. So that was a big perk. And I thought that the advisors would appreciate that, just having to keep up with one and having everything in one place. So it would make it easier. So something I wanted to show you here was this. So once we start building our conference registration, you're gonna see it down here where that plus sign next to the Global Leadership Academy. So we call those cards. So you need to make sure, because you're gonna be able to see all 7 areas cards. So you need to make sure that you choose the correct card when you are registering for any event. And the place where you're going to see these cards or the conference registration is the same affiliation site or the same site that you would log in as a local advisor. So everything is in one place.
Janet, there's a question about Inspire Fund on chat.
Okay.
Can you set different dates by areas for the Inspire Fund? This way all areas have the same opportunity.
It's on a first come, first serve basis. Whoever grabs it first, we are not dividing it by area. It's not divided by area this way at this time. So I can't read the slides. I'm sorry, I tried to make the slides a little bit better, but hopefully you'll get the gist. Once you log in to the affiliation site, you'll be able to see what it is that I was talking about. I am recording this presentation and we will be posting it online. So one other question. Have different deadlines for applying. Everybody has an opportunity to affiliate at any time. So in order for us to apply the Inspire funds, you need to have at least 10 members registered so that, or affiliated, so that we can apply those funds. Everybody has the same exact opportunity. Are we ready to go on? Is there any other questions, Anne?
No.
Something new this year is we have the 2020 Fall Video Series, and this is something that the officers have put together. They've worked it really, really hard. They are 4 videos, well, 5 with the officer video, the state officer videos, that you can show in your classroom. You can make it a watch party. You can make it an assignment. These videos are about 25 minutes long, but they are, all of the characters in the videos are all of the area and state officers. They've really done a great job with this. Please take time to view them and share them with your students, with your HOSA members. This is a great way to get them involved into HOSA if they're feeling left out or HOSA hasn't done a good job to reaching out. We want to reach out to our members. This fall video series can be found at texashosa.org. And I think currently we have 3 videos posted now. Something else that the area officers and the state officers want to happen is that they want you to invite them to your next virtual HOSA meeting. Even if you are on face-to-face, you can definitely, I mean, we all have experience with Zoom now, you can definitely invite them to come to your meeting virtually. These officers have been practicing for a while. They have done a lot of leadership training. So I think that this would be a big plus to invite an officer to your meeting. The officers are eager to be invited. Take advantage of that. You can find this at texashosa.org. It is on the slider and it is also under news and updates. One thing that National HOSA is putting out is something that's called on-demand learning opportunities. This is a really cool tool, and this can really help you if you're struggling to find a lesson that's going with what you are covering in your class currently. So these, as they're working on them, they're continuously adding lessons, and they're calling them mini lessons. And you can find that at hosa.org under resources and then on-demand learning. Or you can find it at this web address, hosa.org/node/112. This is what on-demand learning looks like. Hopefully this is clear and not blurry. I'm not sure. But they have like a mini lesson on career exploration, medical law and ethics, infection control, history and future of medicine, communication skills, and a lot more. They have just posted a new lesson on there that is job seeking skill and interviewing skills. So all of the lessons that they're posting on here actually works really well with the competitive events. They have a lesson plan summary, a video for your students, a PowerPoint, and then a workshop from a VILC if they do have that presentation. I'm excited about these because this will really help advisors take advantage of viewing those.
Janet,
Yes.
there's a question. Can you go back over where they find the cards when they go into affiliate or register for conferences?
This right here.
Yes, where they find that.
So you will automatically see it on the bottom of where you entered your students for affiliation. This is the bottom of the page. You'll be able to see it there. I just snipped it and I didn't give you the whole screen. But it's not hidden. You will be able to find it. And if you don't find it, then definitely email me so that I can help you with that. Because we want to make sure that you are finding everything that you need to be successful with your chapter. Let's talk about how many cards, please? Well, you have one conference and we're gonna talk about that right now. So we will have 7 cards because there are 7 areas. So you're gonna choose your area card. Don't choose somebody else's area card because then you'll be registered for the wrong contest. So the board has really struggled. We have really struggled. It was a big decision, but it has been voted that we are going to be hosting our 2021 area conferences virtually. And all events will be offered. There will be no online testing in the fall. All of the tests will be offered in the springtime. As soon as we have more information ready for our virtual conference, we will have another town hall meeting so that it could all be explained to you how all of this is going to play out. Right now, currently, our schedule for our virtual area conferences, because we're going to run all 7 area conferences at one time. It's going to take us approximately a month to complete. So your students need to make sure that they keep up with the schedule, that you keep them up with the schedule, so that they can be at the right place at the right time. We will be hosting 5 live events, and those 5 live events is Biomedical Debate, HOSA Bowl, Job Seeking Skills, Interviewing Skills, and Medical Spelling. So those will be done via Zoom. So please be looking out for that. We will be hosting a town hall meeting strictly to speak about the virtual conferences in January. But in the meantime, please have your students be thinking about the HOSA service project is Be the Match. The officers have come up with a video that goes with this project and can help you or help your students to become more involved with Be the Match. Why won't that thing go away? You can start working on your t-shirt designs. The theme for 2020-2021 is Unlock Your Potential. This, you can find it at hosa.org also. Competitive events. So I put a little bit of competitive event updates here, just the topics. You don't have to write them down because at the end, I'll tell you where you can find them all. But I did want to show them to you. So public health is reducing health disparities, social determinants of health can help. Research and persuasive technology use, does it make us more or less connected? Prepared speaking and speaking skills, the topic is Unlock Your Potential. Now I wanted to share with you Biomedical Debate. The topic this year is Designer Babies. Parents should be allowed to genetically engineer their offspring. So in a non-virtual world, the guidelines have been updated, and now biomedical debate will be, round 2 will be a seated bracket, something similar to what happens in Hosable. The debate format will be altered and the time reduced to 15 minutes per debate. I think that the debaters are really gonna like this format. Public service announcement, the future of healthcare, how HOSA is making a difference. The event will be 1 round instead of 2. So it used to be round 1 and round 2. Now everything is done in 1 round. Hosable, there's a big change in Hosable now. Significant changes have been made to round 2. Teams will now be required to be 4 members. The first 8 minutes of the buzzer rounds will be a head-to-head matchups between team members, like Green Team A will go against Red Team A, and only those 2 can answer the question. And then it goes to the Bs, the Cs, and then the Ds, and so on. During the last 2 minutes of the buzzer rounds, questions can be answered by any team member. And I think that Big HOSA made this change because, you know, the Hosable teams were made up of 3 or 4, but there was only one really strong player, and he was the only one that was answering the question. So now you need to have 4 strong players because they're going to go head to head. Tallow, new in Tallow this year is that if you remember from last year, if you had a PSA team, then all team members had to upload to Tallow. Well, that has changed this year. Now in team events, only 1 member of the team needs to upload to Tallow. But this is a big difference now, a big change. Competitors will have to upload for the virtual area conference. And a lot of events that have never uploaded to Tallow. Speaking skills, prepared speaking, medical photography, extemporaneous, no, not extemporaneous writing, research. They will all record their presentation and upload it to Tallow. But you'll get more information about that later. If the competitors advance to the next level, to state conference, then they're going to have to reload their projects, their links for the state conference in order to participate. And then if they advance from state, then they'll have to reload for the International Leadership Conference. Our Tallow upload date, yes, will be shared with you at a later time. It's going to be in January, obviously. The reason that we're asking them to upload their projects several different times is that we had, let's say, PSA. We had 68 teams at area, and we only advanced 3 from each area, so that's 21 teams. So we would have to sift through 68 teams to find those 21 so that they could be judged at state conference. We need to make it more simple for us. So that is why they'll have to upload at every level of competition. And your full competitive event updates, you can find them at hosa.org/CE useful tools, or you can go to competitive events and then click on CE useful tools and you will find this handout. Maybe it's blurry, I see it blurry, but this is what it's going to look like. You can print it, it has all of the updates for all of the competitive events. National HOSA will be, Big HOSA will be putting out a survey to all advisors. And we want to make sure, or I want to make sure that all of the advisors in Texas take time to fill out this survey. This will help us to know how many people are virtual, how many are face-to-face, how many are doing kind of like a hybrid thing, or maybe they know that back in January, they're gonna go back face-to-face no matter what. We need to get an idea of what's happening, not only in our state, but internationally and nationally, so that National HOSA knows in which direction to go for their international conference. So please make sure that you take time to fill that out. One of the things that our board of directors has, and I'm very grateful to them, has decided to set up a competitive events resource fund. So at first we called it mini grant, and then we called it grant, and now I think we're going to call it fund. Is that we will be awarding any Title I schools that have been HOSA active for at least 3 years consecutively. They will have an opportunity to apply for the competitive events resource fund. We'll buy books for you up into the amount of $500 of any competitive event resource. We know it's hard. You don't have money in your budget. Your librarian doesn't help. The school doesn't help you buy resources. You have a HOSA member that is interested in participating in an event, but you don't have the resources to share with that student so that they can prepare. So this is a good way for you to start your competitive event resource library. We want you to take advantage of it. Again, this is only for Title I schools that have been HOSA active for 3 consecutive years. And this is also, again, a first come, first served basis. We will be putting this application out at the beginning of November. And all of the books, we will be ordering through Amazon. So if there is a resource book that is not Amazon, we won't be able to purchase it for you. But the majority of all the books are on Amazon. So be looking out for that on the Texas HOSA website. I'm excited. Yes, you'll have to be looking out for it on the website for the competitive event resource funds. So now we have, we are coming to Dr. Johnson. Dr. Johnson, are you there?
I sure am.
If you want
Hello,
to
everyone. Sorry, go ahead.
You want to pin yourself, Dr. Johnson? I don't know.
Sure. All righty. Hello, everyone. How you doing? Janet, thank you again for inviting me, allowing me to be here. And just like the town hall yesterday, which again, I appreciate being here for this process. I would like to take the opportunity to, one, thank you for all the work that you do and all the great work that you've done for our Texas students. We appreciate your work and all the time and effort you put into preparing our students for futures in health professional careers. So the one thing I definitely want to share with you and have a conversation about, well, Janet, I'm gonna have to unpin myself because you're gonna have to show them the spreadsheet. There we go. So as many of you already know, since my time here at the agency, we've been attempting to, we're going through the process of expanding the opportunities within health science. Thanks to Janet pushing out or providing you with that survey that allowed me to take a look at the experience of the teachers within Texas, we were able to, along with the changes, and you've seen the changes in the programs of study for health science, you've seen the inclusion of a number of different occupations. And Janet's survey allowed me to align what we've seen through labor market data and labor market information, that we really need to expand to really prepare our students for specific occupations that are high wage and in high demand within the state of Texas. So with that being said, we had the opportunity to look at that LMI, look at that data, and then to go back and say, hey, here are the courses that we need to develop in order to prepare students for those. Last year, you saw 10 courses being developed. I would like to thank a number of the teachers that are on this call that participated in the process and made that very successful. We were able to add 10 health science courses. This year, we're looking to do the same. You may see other courses on the list, but of course, we're only talking about health science. But feel free if you want to talk to other teachers about the other courses on there. And Janet, I can't see I think I probably need to pin you. Let me pin you so I can see. There we go. So right now, there's an opportunity for, and the innovative course application process just opened again. And we're asking again for the health science teachers with your various experience. And I referenced a survey that Janet put out through the Facebook group, hosted THOA. And we were able to take a look at the background of the teachers within health science within the state of Texas. To no surprise, over 50% were LVNs or RNs. But we wanted to make sure that we're including all of the other occupations within health science, and that we focus on preparing our students for a wide variety of occupations, especially those in need throughout the healthcare industry. So with that being said, there are 10 courses again this year, and they range from kinesiology 2 to medical intervention, evaluation and research, a course that was requested by the executive director of the UT Health System, imaging and technology 1 and 2, dental anatomy and physiology, pharmacy 1, allied health therapeutic service, physical therapy 1, physical therapy 2, science of nursing, clinical ethics within the nursing program of study. So what I'm inviting each of you to do is that if you're interested in writing the standards, and that's what you would be doing, being a part of this innovative course, writing the standards for these courses by which all Texas high schools will use to develop their course. I'm sorry, I do hear some background noise. Could you do me a favor? If you are not, could you mute for me, please? I think someone's doing something else in the background. Thank you. So what I'm inviting each of you to do, to email me, kevin.johnson@tea.texas.gov. Janet also has the recruitment letter for the innovative courses on her website if you would like to participate. You're going to hear me talk about this a number of different times. I'm also going to, you've seen me talk about it at THOA. I've talked about it at a host of board meetings. I will be back tomorrow at tomorrow's Thank you, Janet, for allowing me to do this. Because what we want to make sure we do is that we invite everyone from industry. I'm emailing all of the health science post-secondary programs throughout the state of Texas. I'm emailing Hospital Association, Nursing Association, Physical Therapy Association. We want to bring as many people to the table, as many stakeholders to the table. And yes, I will repeat the email address. But we're trying to bring as many stakeholders to the table as possible to build quality courses for health science and secure the future of health science within the state of Texas. So I will definitely add my information, my email address into the chat. Respond with the course that you would like to be a part of. There's an opportunity for you to either be the lead of the course, just be a participant on the committee, and make sure you let me know, give me your background. Let me know what's your industry experience. And again, all of this is in the recruitment letter that Janet has on the website. So once again, I want to thank you for all you do for our Texas students. And Janet, I appreciate you for allowing me to come in and give this brief commercial. You're on mute, Janet. All righty. I know, I do it too.
Dr. Kevin, I do have a question for you because there was a question in the chat about our competitive event resource fund. that why are we only allowing Title I schools to apply? Well, we are taking some of the grants that we get from the Texas Education Agency, and there are certain guidelines that we have to follow of who we can provide services for. And one of the things that they want us to focus on is, and this is your gig, Dr. Kevin, please tell us.
Absolutely. So the passage of the 2018 Perkins 5, Strengthening TTE for the 21st Century, the passage of that new legislative act has really changed the landscape of CTE throughout the nation. But within the other aspects where it had the mandates with the approved statewide programs of study, there's also an increase in the civil rights provisions within Perkins 5. So when I say civil rights, it's a focus on special population members, and that list was even expanded to 9 groups. Amongst that group, and top within that group is low economically disadvantaged students. So we really want to focus on those economically disadvantaged students from the standpoint of giving them the opportunities to come to HOSA competitions and be successful. So the grant funds and the grant guidelines that Janet is alluding to really emphasize that those grant funds are spent to help those student populations. So I think it's a great idea that I think a broader reach for those funds is looking at your economically disadvantaged students and giving them the opportunity to come to host a competition and be successful, to expose them to the joy of competing and being successful in competition within HOSA.
Yes, thank you so much. Hopefully that answered the email. They said that, can we pull up the courses again? Callie, you can find those at texashosa.org. It's probably a clearer version. texashosa.org under news and updates. You can find the letter from Dr. Johnson and then a list of the courses in case you're interested in helping on that project.
And Melissa, I did get your email. I've been in like 8 Zoom meetings today, so I haven't had a chance to respond to my email, but I have your email. And Melissa Thurman, thank you for volunteering.
You always say yes, Melissa. You've got so much on your plate. We want to welcome, I didn't know that we had a post-secondary chapter on, and she asked, when will we know what we're doing for our state conference? Well, we have a contract at Kalahari in Round Rock. In fact, their opening of the resort is on November the 12th. So it's a brand new facility. But at this time, we have that contract. We are planning a face-to-face conference. It all depends on what happens in this crazy world. There is no way that Kalahari is going to let us out of the contract at this time. It's too early and it's too far out. So we won't have an idea about the state conference, whether in person or virtual. It will have to be closer to that time. Hopefully by February we can have an answer, and hopefully we'll know what's happening in the world with this COVID. The survey is going to be sent out by Big HOSA, yes. So be watching for that email. They are going to be sending out that survey. The executive committee, which I am a part of, we have reviewed that survey, and we have agreed for Big HOSA to send that survey out.
Janet, I got a question there from the, let's see. If we have members who are low income, free lunch, meal, but our school is not, can the students apply by themselves for the Inspire funds?
Yes. If you have students that are able to pay for their affiliation, but others are struggling to pay, you can apply individually, up to 10 students per chapter. Are there any other questions? I feel like we covered a lot of information. Hopefully this was helpful to you. We want to make sure that you're successful in your classroom and in your HOSA chapter. We are here to help you. Please let us know. We do have Andrew Gear, who is in charge of competitive events, working very hard trying to get our virtual conference plan off the ground. We do have Kelly Cowan, who is online, or she was online, who is working, doing an excellent job with the officers. And if you watch those 2020 fall virtual video series, you're going to see amazing things from kids all over Texas, how polished and professional they look in their videos. And we also have some board members online. I heard Melissa Thurman. Do we have any other board member that is online with us today? It's hard for me to see everybody. There's Melissa. There is Kelly. There's another question. No online testing to advance to area. That is correct. That is correct. All online testing will happen at the 2020-2021 virtual conference. Like, let's say if you had students that were doing medical terminology, medical law and ethics, they will all test in January. Where, what was the other question, Leslie? That is correct. All of the area competitions will happen at the same time. Everybody in Texas will register at the same time. Make sure that you choose your correct card for your area. If you're not sure of what area you are in, usually we post your school name plus a 4-digit number at the end. And the first digit of that 4-digit number signifies what area you're in. So if you have 1107, then you are in area 1.
Janet, I have a question that I just want to make sure it doesn't get missed. And we're just not sure of when the area conference date is at this time, correct?
So as I said before, our area conference or virtual, it is going to take us a month to complete. So it's not one weekend or 1 week, it's going to take us a month because we're doing all 7 areas at the same time. It will happen in January. Our registration deadline will be January the 6th. I do know that. The affiliation and registration site in the chat one last time. You're going to go to hosa.org and then go to local advisor, just as you would to affiliate your students. If you are having some more problems, Dr. Hampton Longoria, please email me or give me a call and I'll be able to walk you through that. Is there any other questions? We have 2 more minutes and we can be on time. Middle school will continue straight to state. That is correct. And post-secondary will also go straight to state.
Okay, Janet, I have one more just to be clear. Okay, so you're saying that all of the areas are competing the same time frame, but it's going to take a month to basically complete this.
Yes.
So really, we need to be up to date for that month, just staying on top of when the dates are for those specific competitions.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense now. Thank you.
Yes, so like, for example, we're going to give you a date range for medical terminology. And the tests, by the way, all of the tests are open book. There's no proctor. So the students can test from their house. They will be timed, right? hopefully they don't have enough time to look for the answers, but all medical terminology, all medical law and ethics, all dental terminology, they will have an 8-hour window in order for them to test in.
12.
I'm sorry, 12. Thank you, Ann. I don't want to get too much involved in virtual conference information. Just know that we are still planning. Our schedule is almost cemented. We have it in stone almost, but we are double checking. You remember that this is the first time that we're ever doing a virtual conference. So we are trying to make sure that we are crossing our T's and dotting our I's so that your students, your members, or so the members of Texas HOSA can have a great experience. I saw something very disturbing on Facebook the other day, and usually I don't answer on Facebook. A lot of advisors ask questions and such. But if you want me to personally answer a question that you may have, definitely you can email me. But I saw somebody post on Facebook that they weren't even thinking about HOSA this year. Well, that's not fair to the students. Yes, it is a little bit more work, but if you're doing more work than your students, then probably your chapter is not set up correctly. You need to make sure that you give them an assignment to the students so that they can help you, so that you don't feel overwhelmed. We know you're overwhelmed already with virtual learning, hybrid, face-to-face. Some days you're on Zoom. I know it's very difficult. We know that you're having a rough time, but we're here to help you so that we can make sure that your students are successful. Even if it's in a virtual conference, we want them to feel successful and to be part of something bigger than themselves or their little box. Will the online testing be $5? No, the online, again, I really didn't want to get into virtual conference information, but virtual conference fees will be $15, and we are only charging students. And they will all be receiving a t-shirt. But that's all I'm gonna say about virtual conference. I don't wanna answer anything more about virtual conference until we make sure that we are cemented in what our plans are. We are almost there. Next month, we will be having a town hall meeting that will hopefully answer all of your questions. And the person that will be in the hot seat will not be me, it will be Ann Regier to answer all of your questions. I'm so grateful that you joined us today at 5 o'clock. Thank you so much. And please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are here to help you so that you can have a successful and active HOSA chapter. I want to thank everyone. Thank you so much. See you guys later.
Thank you, Janet.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm so excited for health informatics this year. Okay, bye.
Oh, I know who you are. I don't even need to see you. Thank you. Thank you.
Teresa,
Bye-bye.
was that you?
Yes, that was Jerika.
I knew it. Hi, Vivian.
Hey,